Today, we are diving deep into a text that connects some pretty ancient spiritual ideas with some really cutting-edge neuroscience. We're going to explore the biology of something called timeless presence, what it is, and more importantly, how you can actually access it.
The text just opens with this quiet, almost whispered invitation. It pulls you right in, doesn't it? It feels like we're about to be let in on a secret, one that's been waiting for us, well, in the dark.
And right there, that's the central question we're tackling. So let's just throw out the idea that timelessness is some abstract thing you have to, meditate on a mountaintop for 20 years to get. What if it's a state that's already hardwired into your own biology, just waiting to be switched on?
So our journey here, it starts by completely flipping the script on how we think about darkness. It's not something to be afraid of or something to just fill up with artificial light. No, it's a place of some really profound wisdom and power.
The source gives us this incredible metaphor, the keeper of the inner sun. Now, don't think of this as some guru out there. This is a part of your own biology that just instinctively gets it. It understands natural rhythm. It's the master of your internal clock. And really, it's just been waiting for you to finally stop and listen. All right, so where is this keeper? Is it floating around in some mystical realm? Nope. The text argues it's in a very real, very physical location inside of you. So let's go find it.
Ancient traditions, they had this name for this place, a name just filled with this sense of power and stability, the throne that never moves. This is the command center, the seat of power from which our entire perception of time is governed.
And here it is. This is the big aha moment, right? This is the biological reality behind that ancient myth. Right inside your brain, there's this tiny pin-sized cluster of neurons. It's the master clock for your entire body. It's called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or the SCN for short. This is the literal throne.
So how does this throne even work? Well, the SCN is incredibly sensitive to light. It's designed to pick up on the very last bit of fading natural light at dusk, and that's its cue, right? It's the signal to start this whole cascade of restorative processes for the night. The problem is, when we blast our eyes with all this artificial blue light from our screens, our phones, our light bulbs, we're sending it a completely scrambled signal. It's like a hijacker has stormed the cockpit and taken over the throne, throwing our entire natural rhythm into total chaos.
What's so wild is when you realize that ancient traditions and modern science are describing the exact same thing, just using different words. Vedic seers talked about Kala Shakti, the power of time. That's the SCN's function. Buddhist masters were trying to find the Bindu, the deathless now. That's basically a state of perfect circadian coherence. And their whole idea of hungry ghosts, these restless, unsatisfied spirits, that is a perfect metaphor for the chaotic, agitated state that blue light pollution puts us in. It's all the same story.
Okay, so let's get into the chemistry of it. What actually happens on a chemical level when the keeper is allowed to sit on that throne and do its job? Because this isn't just about sleep, it's about a really profound chemical process.
We tend to think of melatonin as that little pill you buy at the pharmacy to help you sleep. But the melatonin your own brain produces in true, absolute darkness, that is infinitely more powerful. It's the master key that unleashes your body's most important nightly cleanup crew.
See, in real darkness, melatonin kicks off two critical processes. The first one is autophagy, which is basically your cell's internal recycling program. It clears out all the junk and the damaged parts. The second is mitophagy, which specifically goes after old, worn-out mitochondria, your cellular power plants. And this deep, deep clean is also when the brain quiets down the network that's responsible for our constant sense of I and its story. It allows us to detach from that rigid line of time.
And there it is. That's the connection. The very same molecule that is physically cleaning your cells is also dissolving that rigid mental story of past, present, and future. You don't try to be present. The chemical state of your brain in darkness is presence.
Okay, so that's the what and the why. So how do we actually do this? The source text doesn't just leave us with theory, it gives us a direct, actionable protocol.
And the message here could not be clearer. This is not something to just think about or intellectualize. It's something to do, period. The benefits are in the practice, not just in understanding the idea.
And here are the steps, laid out brilliantly. 1 hour after the sun goes down, everything, and I mean everything, goes off. You sit on the floor, spine straight, and you start a very specific breath pattern for just 13 minutes. The visualization here is absolutely key. You imagine inhaling this pure, clean starlight directly into that SCN in your brain, and then exhaling all the artificial light pollution you've absorbed all day. This is a technology for resetting your master clock. Now this practice, this isn't just some nightly chore or simple health hack. The source elevates this to something way more profound. It's actually a sacred act.
Let's be really clear about this. The goal here isn't just to get better sleep or lower your cortisol. The real goal is to restore the natural, divine order inside your own body. It's about letting the rightful ruler, your innate biological rhythm, finally take its seat of power back from all the chaos of modern life.
And this is where it all comes together so beautifully. Every single part of your biology becomes part of the ritual. Your cellular powerhouses, the mitochondria, those are the lamps in your inner temple. The melatonin is the sacred offering. And the real wisdom, the actual teaching, is found in that quiet space your body creates for itself, in the profound silence between your own heartbeats.
You know, this is the great convergence, right? It doesn't matter if you're a Tibetan yogi from a centuries-old lineage or a cutting-edge chronobiologist in a state-of-the-art lab. You eventually arrive at the exact same undeniable conclusion. The sanctity of natural darkness is absolutely critical to our health, our consciousness, and our entire connection to time itself.
And that's really the final, incredible shift in perspective, isn't it? We've been looking for power, for enlightenment, for presence, out there somewhere. But the throne, the seat of power over time itself, it was never in the heavens. It has always been right here, inside your head, just waiting for you to become its guardian. And the real question is, are you brave enough to protect the dark?